Well, hi, good morning, and thank you for keeping me company in my shop while I struggle away with this radio with a peculiar intermittent problem in it that seems to go away and then, uh-oh, it has returned. So I'm going to try to focus on that. While the problem is happening, I have a chance of finding it. When the problem stops and everything becomes normal, well, there's nothing I can do about it at that point. So if that's the case with the radio, it appears to be operating normally, then I'll just continue on with some more capacitor replacement. And just on that note, I don't quite understand, and it's not important that I do actually, but this capacitor cut at one leg and clicking it on and off, you could clearly hear a big change in the operation of the radio. When I put the new capacitor in, which is actually a little bigger than this one, this is a 0.2, this is actually a 0.3, the effect seemed not nearly as dramatic. Now maybe it's just false observation. I think I make a lot of false observations while I'm doing this. So, and also I make observations and I just file them away and forget about them and don't necessarily deal with them until they show up again at some point. So, okay, so what are we going to do about this radio? I have a voltmeter set up across this resistor to try to detect a failure in this resistor. Didn't seem to do the job. I didn't see anything that indicated a failure in the resistor. But I'll leave this meter connected. I'm going to connect another meter. I'm going to connect it part way into the heater string in hopes of seeing some effect there. So if the problem is in the heater string, then I'll find it this way. If the radio exhibits this intermittent on and off thing, actually it's not so much on and off, it's just off, yet the tube string didn't show any signs of weirdness, then I can kind of eliminate that. Go on to other things to try to sort it out. So we'll be watching a couple things at once here. So I am going to want to put this meter on. Oh, this isn't the meter. Jimmy, it already is grounded, Jim. Come on. Well, I'm just starting. Haven't drank any coffee yet, so. Okay, and we need the voltage probe. And I want to pick a tube kind of in the middle of the string and the 12 SQ. Let me just peek to make sure I got this right. The SK or the SA are in the middle of things. The SA is actually mostly in the middle. So let's go for the heater on the SA. One leg. One leg heater on the. So I need to clip this so I'm not holding it. Wow. Well, okay, this clip's in trouble. Let's try this one here. Good. Okay, so we want to go on the SA, that's this tube, and the heaters are pins 2 and pin 7. We'll pick this one here because it's in the clear. Put that on the voltmeter. Make sure voltmeter's got to be on AC. Let's get it right. Okay. Turn on our voltmeter. Set it. I'm going to leave it up at 150 because it's possible it'll see the entire voltage, perhaps. And just checking for shorts or dumb things here. This guy, we're going to want to run him also on AC. Similarly, I'll put 100 volts here. So the interesting thing is that this little meter, the little meter here, which I pay virtually no attention to it, has turned out to be the main indicator of trouble with this radio. So we can keep our eye on this meter and it shaking around. We'll look for this one to do the same and this one to do the same. Didn't I do this yesterday and that's what I found out? I don't think it was certain enough. Okay, we're ready to go here. not plugged in, Jim. Okay, that was just a practice session. Here we go. So, is it shaky? Yes. What's going on with these meters? Not shaky yet. Of course, today it won't act up. Okay. Everything's as stable as can be. So the reason this meter went down, these two didn't change. These two are reading voltages in the string, in the tube heater string, and it's stable. This thing went down because I still had the dim bulbs clicked in, and so as the radio drew more power, more voltage dropped on these tubes, and the voltage of the radio actually went down. That's what this is showing, voltage here. Well, you know, when you want it to act up, it doesn't. Jeepers. What? What? Oh my gosh! Okay, sorry, I'm sitting and listening to the Canadian news, but that's a big news. Krista Freeland's a very important politician in Canada. Okay, enough of the news there. Well, all stable. Okay, so I'll just get back to working on these capacitors, and we'll figure out which one might be fun to do next. I think from here it's rather drab, but maybe if we think about it a little bit, the radio's working really quite good too. So, okay, I gotta go get some coffee and ponder the situation. Okay, so the radio's working fairly well, and so there's no reason to think any of these capacitors are really sick guys. Leaky? Probably, yes. I can't think of any particular order to do these in that might be revealing of something, so I'm just going to start doing them, and we'll see how far I get. Okay, so I'm going to start at this end, just kind of work my way across on them. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, well, I often talk about the risk of shotgunning capacitors and changing a whole bunch at once without testing the radio. And that's what I've done. I've changed all the old capacitors. Oh, I forgot one. Come to think of it, I forgot this guy. We'll leave him there for now. Shotgunning capacitors is a little risky because if you make a mistake, here's all the dead soldiers here. If you make a mistake, you might have a hard time finding it afterwards. So much easier to, change a capacitor, check the radio. Oh, didn't work. Must have made a mistake with that capacitor. That's a lot easier to deal with. So what has happened here? So switch. We will see. Did I boop up? Now, if the radio doesn't operate, the problem here is I won't know if it's because of that other weird thing that was going on, or whether it's because I made a mistake in doing the capacitors. We will see. Okay, so power's on, so you want to keep our eyes on the dim bulbs. If I've made a terrible mistake, like left a short in, you know what, just before I energize this. Let me just wiggle every one of these and make sure I've soldered them on both sides. Yep, all is good. Okay, so volume's down. I've turned up a little bit. Here we go. Power's on. Patience, Jim. This one comes on late. Got 108 volts on it. Patience. Okay. Looks like I didn't make a mistake. I'm impressed. Okay. What do we do now? So I'm doing there with my finger, I was increasing the tension of the string just a little bit, and it makes all the difference. Well, okay. Are we done? Well, what's left is checking alignment and things like that. Great. But I think I'm going to call it quits here for today. What's going on with that intermittent thing? Nobody knows yet. Is it not a real problem? Sure seemed like a problem. The radio doesn't work. That's a problem. Very good. So tomorrow we will look at alignment on here, and I've got to patch up the speaker, which is full of rips and tears all over the place here. And there we go. Great. And I'm back to working in my bathroom, which the project is going along good, but it's a lot of work. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot for watching today, and have a great day. See ya.